Hey, it's Patrick from the Lyons Group. I want to share with you something that's come up in several professional development conversations I've had with executives recently. Now, these are conversations with executives who are intentionally trying to change a behavior or an approach that they believe will help them grow as leaders. We've been talking about the three very important to understand phases of any behavior change. Now, the first phase is when nobody will notice what you're doing because you've made the decision to change, you've made the decision to implement a new behavior, but people aren't looking for it. And unless you plan to send an organization-wide memo to everybody announcing what you're doing, you have to know that no one is going to recognize it. No one's going to see it. No one's going to notice. It's important to just push through that phase and remember that you're not doing it for their noticement. You're not doing it for their accolades or recognition. You're doing it because this is your own professional development journey. And that moves into then the second phase of a behavior change. And that's when people will begin to notice. And depending upon what the behavior is or how you've shown up in the past, they may see it and be skeptical. They may see it and be nauseatingly encouraging. They may see it and they may even make fun of you for it. Again, the important thing to understand is you're not doing it for anybody else's accolades. You're not doing it for how they respond to you. You're doing it because this is part of your own professional development journey. So the important thing to understand is push through that second phase, because on the other side of that is the third phase of any behavior change. And that is when people just accept that this is your new normal. How long each of those phases lasts really depends on how dramatic a departure the new behavior is from an old behavior. For example, if you've had a history of angry outbursts, then when you commit to not doing that, people will probably notice pretty quickly. But that may make that second phase longer because they're more skeptical that this is something that's going to actually stick. They may just be waiting around to ultimately say, see, I told you this really wasn't going to work. Ultimately, it doesn't matter if the waiting is in the first phase or the second phase. Just push past both of those first two phases, because eventually, in that example, if you show up long enough without any angry outbursts, people will begin to believe this is the new you, and they will then respond and engage with you differently as a result. Whatever the behavior change is that you've decided to implement, understand those three phases. First phase, no one's going to notice. Second phase, people may be skeptical. They may be waiting for you to revert back to old behaviors. Regardless of how long those phases last, understand them and know that you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for anybody else. Push past that. And ultimately, you'll get into phase 3 where everything will be better and that behavior change will no longer be a change. That'll be something you've embraced and you've exhibited long enough that people know this is now the new you. So there you go. Whatever that change is, make sure you commit to it. Do it for yourself. You can do it. And if you need any support, don't hesitate to let us know.